When you think of a Hispanic epicenter in America, what comes to mind? It's so much more than just population stats. It's about a living, breathing culture, a history that runs incredibly deep, and an influence that defines a state's character. The Hispanic presence in many of these places actually predates the United States itself, a foundational piece of the American story that doesn't get told nearly enough. Today, we're counting down the top 10 states where the Hispanic spirit isn't just thriving, it's shaping the very fabric of the community. From the food and music to the economy and politics, this community's impact is immeasurable. And trust me, you might be surprised by who lands the number 1 spot. We're going to explore the statistics, the culture, and the history that make each of these states a powerhouse of Hispanic life. So, if you're ready for a journey through the heart of Hispanic America, make sure you're subscribed, and let's get into it. The countdown begins, starting with number 10. Number 10. Illinois. Kicking off our list at number 10 is the Prairie State, Illinois. It might be famous for Chicago deep dish and windy weather, but it's also a massive hub for Hispanic culture in the Midwest. The state is home to about 2.3 million Hispanic people, making up around 18% of its total population. This community is a dynamic force, especially in its vibrant heart, the city of Chicago. The Hispanic story in Illinois was really written by 2 pioneering groups, Mexicans and Puerto Ricans. Neighborhoods like Pilsen and Little Village on Chicago's west side are legendary centers of Mexican-American life. The streets are lined with colorful murals of revolutionary heroes, the air is filled with the sounds of mariachi, and the smell of authentic taquerias is everywhere. Pilsen is also home to the National Museum of Mexican Art, a world-class institution celebrating Mexican culture. Head a bit north to Humboldt Park, and you'll find one of the largest and most historic Puerto Rican communities in the country. The neighborhood is anchored by 2 massive steel Puerto Rican flags that arch over Division Street, a powerful symbol of identity and pride. This is a community that has profoundly shaped Chicago's cultural scene for generations. Number 9. Colorado. Coming in at number 9 is the Centennial State, Colorado. With a Hispanic population of around 1.28 million, this community makes up 22% of the state's population, mixing a rich, centuries-old history with vibrant, modern growth. The Hispanic story in Colorado is unique because it has 2 distinct chapters. First, there's the story of the Hispanos of southern Colorado, whose ancestors settled the land long before it was ever part of the United States. Their roots run incredibly deep, tracing all the way back to Spanish colonial times. This heritage is woven into the soul of southern Colorado, and you can see it in the historic adobe architecture, hear it in the unique dialect of Spanish spoken there, and feel it in the generations-old family ranches. The second chapter is about more recent growth, focused in the booming Denver metro area. Drawn by economic opportunity, this newer wave of immigrants, mostly from Mexico and Central America, has brought fresh energy to the state. It's this mix of old and new that makes Colorado's cultural scene so fascinating. You can see it in Denver's art district on Santa Fe, where traditional Hispanic galleries sit next to contemporary studios. You can taste it in the food, where you're just as likely to find a generations-old family recipe for green chili as you are a trendy fusion dish. This combination of deep roots and dynamic growth makes Colorado a key player in the story of Hispanic America. Number 8. New Jersey. Next up at number 8 is the Garden State, New Jersey. Don't let its size fool you. New Jersey is a powerhouse of Hispanic diversity. The state boasts a Hispanic population of over 2 million, making up more than 21.6% of its residents. What makes New Jersey so incredible is the sheer variety of its Hispanic communities. While other states on our list might be dominated by 1 or 2 groups, New Jersey is a true mosaic. Large Puerto Rican, Dominican, and South American populations have created a multicultural corridor across the state, especially in the northern cities. Paterson, for example, is known for its huge and vibrant Dominican and Peruvian communities. For years, Union City was called Havana on the Hudson, thanks to its prominent Cuban population. Today, the Dominican community is one of the fastest growing and most influential in the state. Cities like Paterson and Perth Amboy are epicenters of Dominican life, with main streets bustling with bodegas, barbershops, and restaurants serving up classics like sancocho and mofongo. This incredible diversity means that in a single day in New Jersey, you could experience a Cuban street festival in Union City and a Peruvian parade in Paterson, making it a truly unique and vibrant hub. Number 7. New York. Marching into the number 7 spot is the Empire State, New York. For decades, New York City was the main gateway for Hispanic immigrants to the U.S., and its legacy is legendary. With a Hispanic population of around 3.87 million, nearly 19.5% of the state's total, its influence is undeniable. New York's Hispanic story is famously tied to the Puerto Rican community. The very term, New Yorkan, was born here to describe the unique culture of New Yorkers with Puerto Rican heritage. This community has left a permanent mark on the city, from the salsa music born in the clubs of the Bronx and Spanish Harlem to the iconic Puerto Rican Day Parade that streams down Fifth Avenue every year. Neighborhoods like East Harlem, or El Barrio, and huge parts of the Bronx are foundational pillars of this heritage. But the story doesn't end there. In recent decades, New York has become a major center for the Dominican diaspora, and Dominicans are now the largest Hispanic group in New York City. The neighborhood of Washington Heights in Manhattan is the heart of this community, a bustling hub of Dominican life and culture. Beyond these two giants, New York is also home to growing populations of Mexicans, Colombians, and Ecuadorians, each adding their own traditions and flavors to the state's incredible cultural tapestry. Number 6. Nevada. Breaking into our list at number 6 is the Silver State, Nevada. Famous for the glitz and glamour of Las Vegas, Nevada's recent history is one of explosive growth, with the Hispanic community right at the center of it. The state has a Hispanic population of about 1.08 million, which is a staggering 28.7% of its total population, one of the highest shares in the nation. The vast majority of this community is of Mexican origin, with large and growing populations from Central America, especially El Salvador. This rapid demographic shift has completely reshaped Nevada's cities, particularly Las Vegas. The Hispanic community is the backbone of the hospitality industry that powers the state's economy, but its influence now reaches far beyond that. In just a few decades, the community has built a powerful presence, creating vibrant neighborhoods with thriving businesses and cultural centers. You can see it in East Las Vegas, a sprawling area filled with incredible restaurants, bakeries, and markets that offer a taste of home. The annual Day of the Dead celebration at the Springs Preserve and the massive Mexican Independence Day festivities show the deep cultural pride that runs through the state, proving that beyond the neon lights, Nevada is a true Hispanic stronghold. Number 5. Arizona. Our number 5 spot goes to a state where the Hispanic presence isn't a recent trend but a core part of its identity, Arizona. With a Hispanic population of over 2.3 million, making up nearly 30.9% of its residents, the state's culture is deeply intertwined with its Hispanic roots. Like its neighbors, Arizona's history is inseparable from Mexico's. The land itself was once part of it. This history is alive and well today, especially in cities like Tucson and Phoenix and the many towns along the border. The population is mostly of Mexican descent, and you can see that heritage everywhere. You see it in the Spanish colonial revival architecture, you taste it in the world-famous Sonoran-style cuisine, like the legendary Sonoran hot dog, and you feel it in the rhythm of daily life. The cultural landscape of Arizona is a beautiful fusion of Native American, Mexican, and Anglo traditions, creating a unique borderlands culture that is distinct to the region. From the historic missions to the colorful murals decorating city walls, the Hispanic influence is a constant and celebrated presence. It's a state where history isn't just in the past, it's a living part of the present. Alright, we've just crossed the halfway point and we're about to break into the top 4. From here on out, the numbers get absolutely mind-boggling, and the cultural influence becomes even more profound. Before we reveal these giants of Hispanic America, if you're enjoying this and learning something new, do us a quick favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. And let us know in the comments which state you think is going to take the number 1 spot. You might be surprised. Now, let's get to number 4. Number 4. New Mexico. Claiming the number 4 spot is a state that's really in a category of its own. New Mexico, the land of enchantment. While its total Hispanic population of just over 1.05 million might seem smaller than others on this list, its cultural weight is immense. New Mexico has the highest percentage of Hispanic residents of any state, at a massive 47.7%. Here, Hispanic culture isn't just part of the state's identity, it is the state's identity. What truly sets New Mexico apart is its history. Many Hispanic families here aren't recent immigrants but are known as Hispanos, descendants of Spanish colonists who settled the area as far back as the 16th and 17th centuries, long before the Mayflower even landed. This has created a culture that is profoundly unique in the United States. You can see this heritage in the New Mexican Spanish dialect, the traditional folk art like Santero carvings, and the iconic adobe architecture of Santa Fe and Albuquerque. And, of course, the food. New Mexican cuisine is a beloved institution, defined by the official state question, red or green, referring to the choice of chili sauce. This is a place where Hispanic heritage is simply the way of life. Number 3. Florida. Storming into the top 3 is the Sunshine State, Florida. A true titan of Hispanic America, Florida is home to a massive and incredibly diverse Hispanic population of approximately 6.2 million people, which is 28% of its total population. If states like Texas and California are defined by deep Mexican roots, Florida is the undisputed epicenter of Caribbean and South American culture in the U.S. The Cuban-American community famously transformed Miami into a global city. Little Havana is the symbolic heart of this community, with its iconic Calle Ocho, where you can hear the click of dominoes in the park, smell the strong aroma of Cuban coffee, and feel the pulse of a culture that is both deeply traditional and fiercely entrepreneurial. Cuban Americans have shaped South Florida's politics and economy for decades. But the story has gotten so much bigger. In recent years, Central Florida, especially the Orlando-Kissimmee area, has become a primary destination for Puerto Ricans, who are now the second largest Hispanic group in the state. Add to that the huge and growing communities of Colombians, Venezuelans, Nicaraguans, and Dominicans, and you have one of the most diverse Hispanic populations anywhere in the world. Florida is truly a crossroads of the Americas, where the sounds, flavors, and ambitions of dozens of nations come together. Number 2. Texas. Our runner-up, coming in at number 2, is the Lone Star State, Texas. A demographic and cultural giant, Texas has a Hispanic population of over 12.1 million, making up a little over 40% of the state's population. In fact, Texas recently became a Hispanic plurality state, a milestone that highlights the community's profound and growing influence. The heritage here is overwhelmingly Mexican-American, or Tejano, a history that's woven into the fabric of Texas itself. This shared culture is visible across the state's vast landscape. San Antonio, one of the nation's largest majority Hispanic cities, is a living museum of this heritage, from its historic Spanish missions to its celebratory riverwalk. The Rio Grande Valley has a unique border culture all its own, while big cities like Houston and Dallas are home to massive and diverse Hispanic populations from all over Latin America. Culturally, Texas is where traditions collide and create something new. It's the home of Tejano music, a unique sound that fuses Mexican folk with German and Czech polka. It's where classic American barbecue meets Mexican culinary traditions to create a food scene unlike any other. And it's a place of massive cultural celebrations that bring communities together to honor their rich heritage. Number 1. California. And now, claiming the undisputed number 1 spot on our list, is the Golden State, California. With a colossal Hispanic population of nearly 15.8 million, California is simply in a league of its own. This community makes up over 40.3% of the state's population, and in a historic demographic shift, Hispanics are now the single largest ethnic group in California. The state is home to 1 out of every 4 Hispanic Americans, and its influence on the state and the nation is immeasurable. The population is mostly of Mexican origin, but California is also home to the largest Central American population in the U.S., with huge communities of Salvadorans and Guatemalans, especially in Los Angeles. From the historic murals of East Los Angeles to the agricultural heartland of the Central Valley, where the Hispanic community is the backbone of the state's farming industry, the impact is everywhere. San Diego's culture is a dynamic fusion of American and Mexican life thanks to its border location. Culturally, California has been a hotbed for Hispanic innovation, from the Chicano civil rights movement and the art of visionaries like Judy Baca to the enduring legacy of labor leaders like Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta. It is the undeniable, undisputed epicenter of Hispanic life in America. From the deep Hispano roots in New Mexico to the Caribbean crossroads of Florida, and from the Tejano heartland of Texas to the sheer scale of California, each state tells a unique and powerful story. What's crystal clear is that the Hispanic community is not a monolith. It's a rich, diverse, and dynamic mosaic of different cultures, histories, and traditions. Its influence isn't just growing, it's been a fundamental part of the American story from the very beginning. These states are a testament to the incredible contributions of Hispanic Americans to the nation's past, present, and future. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend who might be interested. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next cultural deep dive. Thanks for watching.